Hello and welcome to American Wasp. I am your host, Deter McBusiness, America's favorite white Anglo-Saxon Protestant gone left coastal. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be I'm going to try to react more frequently to Morning Joe segments that really piss me off because MS Now and Morning Joe in particular could be an amazing resource for the progressive left, but their short-sighted executives just don't see the value in having any kind of progressive voice on there. With that said, here comes a theme that has been the problem with MS Now's coverage and all liberal coverage, and that is the naive cultural assumption of bipartisanship. Okay? Bipartisanship is dead. The Republican Party, here we go, ready? Bipartisanship is dead. The Republican Party is a party of distraction tactics. You know, whether it's abortion, immigration, you name it, guns, it's all distraction tactics to get you from paying attention, to keep you from paying attention to the real agenda, which is tax cuts for wealthy people and corporations. So, let's get into this douchebag. We have someone with an artistic disposition lecturing us about what our political discourse should be. Remember, people with artistic dispositions do not like conflict. They do not like competition, for the most part. Most of them don't. Not all of them, but for the most part, artists don't want to compete. They just want to be artists.
Launching a cross-partisan civic initiative that empowers Americans to speak up and have their voices heard, aiming to convert those ideas into real action. It's called The Forum. It's currently active in 3 key states, New Hampshire, Nevada, and South Carolina, with plans to expand nationwide. And Andrew joins us now. Andrew, it's so great to see you.
It's great to be here with all of you.
Did I catch a little cringe when you were watching that? Because we were into it, man.
Maybe just the wardrobe. But I hear the 90s are having to come back.
They are. Yeah, and perhaps civic engagement and people's voices in politics are having a comeback now. I've been talking to you about the forum for some time. You are incredibly smart and engaged on all these issues in politics in a bipartisan way. So just explain for our viewers, if you can, in the simplest terms, what the forum is and what it aims to do.
Well, I will. I just wanted to set the stage for why I think this is possible. When you look at this election that's coming up, it's another change election. Every 2 years we have a change election. You know why? Because nothing's changing. You have all the energy on the far right, the far left, MAGA, Democratic Socialists. They're the ones who everybody's paying attention to because people are crazed in the middle, thinking they're taking over the parties. Here's the good news and the bad news. The good news is, for the first time, those two warring factions actually agree on what the problem is. That the system's broken. It's corrupt. It's only serving people at the top. So what are we going to do about it? They don't.
Except the GOP has been explicitly serving the top 1% in corporations since 1980. Watch the lack of specificity. Again, guys, always be on the lookout for specificity. That's when someone earns your respect, is when they can cite data, cite specific examples, get into the evidence behind their thesis, not just extrapolate their thesis 16 different ways over the course of 2 minutes.
I don't know what to do about it because they're in a death match, and we're all in the death match with them. So we're all in this boat. We're all slowly sinking. You see the way our kids are, the anxiety levels. People can't buy a home. A police officer or a nurse can't buy their own home. The American dream is dying right in front of all of us. But people at the top are kind of like, maybe business as usual, keep going along.
They're doing great.
Yeah. So we need to do something as radical as their agendas. We need to create one agenda. So instead of taking back the country from each other, what if we took back the country together? How would that be?
What does that even mean? Take the country, instead of taking the country from each other, would take back the country together. So who are you taking it back from? The wealthy and corporations? Who's your enemy? Again, be specific, or I won't respect anything you have to say.
Could we do that? Could we create one renewal agenda that the American people are the authors of?
Like a New Deal type thing?
We actually can. The technology allows it, and now the will allows it. The people are done with this.
The people are done with this, and yet you've got 1/3 still supporting Trump. So is your idea to get the other 2/3 to rally against that 1/3, or you're trying to get the middle 2/3? What is your arithmetic here? What is your practical application of this idea?
They are so exhausted and fearful for their future. They are ready to show up. So in these 3 states, in South Carolina, Nevada, and New Hampshire, we've called them in every zip code. We said, come, tell us what your issues are. And we've begun to winnow it down. We've had huge scale, hundreds of thousands of people have participated. We have political balance. We have elected leaders, the governors, experts, everybody weighing in, the media covering it. And we are on the cusp in the next couple months to deliver supermajority supported to the tune of 70% legislation that's going to go to the state houses. And I'm confident that those legislators are going to pass it because they know what the problem is. They know we're all part of it. And if they don't pass it and they don't want to serve their constituents, now we have the basis for accountability. Now we have the marching orders. We can get new people to run on this. This is a breakthrough. This could change the way we operate as a free society and how we self-govern and how we possibly heal this nation.
So as a practical question, I'm a voter in one of these 3 states and hopefully every other state coming pretty soon. I come to you through in person or using technology at our disposal these days. I say, here's what's bothering me. Here's why my life is difficult. I'd like to see this change. And then what happens? How does that get up to those state houses?
There you go.
Yeah, so
Practical
we built
application.
the platform and the process where basically we start with advertising on social media and we bring people in. So we're kind of not going and knocking on their door, but in essence we are, and making sure that they start by just being heard. Tell us what you want fixed that you think is broken. And we crowdsource the issues, and we vote on them, and we winnow them down. And right now in all 3 states, we have 4 issues that they've honed in on, and they're basic stuff, kitchen table stuff. In South Carolina, it's roads and infrastructure. In Nevada, it's water scarcity, and then it's property taxes in New Hampshire. Then we start to get into face-to-face conversations where you bring in proposals and you get experts involved. It's a 9-month process because you want to create a lot of engagement. It's like a murder trial. Everybody wants to be following. What's the bill that we're going to come up with? And now you have that kind of advocacy, and now you have a citizen lobby. We have the public interest instead of all the special interests.
A citizen lobby. So he wants to use your money to create a lobbying firm that will derive, whose purpose will derive from the will of the members of whatever this thing is, the forum that he's talking about. Interesting. It's an interesting idea, but you're not laying out, it's just discussion based. It's not idea based. It's just, well, the only idea that it's based on is bipartisanship. And the whole purpose of this reaction is to endorse the idea that bipartisanship is dead.
So this is how I believe we're going to have to not only work our way out of this national division, but get this country moving again, get us moving towards the horizon that we all believe in.
So off of Willie's question to you, how does it work when you go into a state? Like say, if you're looking at a 4th state right now, how do you do it when you get to a state? What do you do? Just call people up?
No, that's a great question. The first thing you do is you build the team there. It's Noah's Ark. You make sure that we are coming out with Republicans and Democrats. So in each state, we have co-chairs who are awesome. Former Senate president in New Hampshire, former head of the Republican caucus in Nevada. So you have these grassroots teams who are going to be out there calling everybody in. And it's also a signal to the legislators that this is real. These are real partisans who are putting down their swords now and that are saying, we're going to build this. So it's a marketing exercise, but it's also an exercise that builds over time. And it really is just coming in almost like you'd come in to launch a company. It's like, this is the brand. We're asking people to buy into it because everybody's got a role. And I can't stress enough how important it is for us to get elected leaders at every level. And obviously we've picked these 3 states for a reason, the 3 early presidential primary states where the whole country is going to be focused. We are going to show that the people can come together and be the leaders here, can drive the boat. And I want the next president, whoever he or she is, to make this the first order of business, to call the American people in, let them decide what they're going to fix first. Are we going to have real reform on AI? Is it going to be immigration? And then they are going to co-create the bill that is going to be so obviously practical and pragmatic.
Can you tell the guy used to work in Hollywood? I can't do the rest of this. Just about to ask Elise Jordan a question. I just don't care what she has to say. Elise Jordan does not merit my respect, nor does any former Republican or any current Republican. I don't know where the hell this guy thinks this is going or where we're at. The Republican Party is anti-government, anti-regulation, pro-corporation. It's pro-criminal. It's anti-immigrant. I mean, the Republican Party isn't changing, guys. It hasn't changed in the only change that it's experienced in the last 45 years is a devolution from neoconservatism, which wasn't anti-immigrant to begin with. It was just pro-corporation, pro-business, pro-winning the Cold War, at least looking like we won the Cold War. This is a step in the wrong direction here. The forum from this guy, Andrew Shue, and people like him, and I'm still wrestling with Joe Walsh, because these guys, like, they preach bipartisanship, but they don't recognize that bipartisanship is exactly what got us here. And I don't understand what we're supposed to do with that. We're supposed to act as if that isn't the case, you know? What are we doing here? Let's go ahead and watch Joe Walsh. His, hold on a second. Yeah, let's do Joe Walsh. Because this is a weird thing for me. Because this is, like, the guy, I actually kind of like this guy as on a personal level, but I have no respect for his intellect.
We are not
Listen to
okay.
this.
America is not okay.
It's so
and
scary.
We all
We're
know
so
that. Former
we're-
Congressman Joe
we're-
Walsh, this is the social contract.
It's all
with Joe
sad.
Walsh.
Everyone's so sad. Let's all get
figure out
together
how
and
to
sing
get
Kumbaya.
okay together.
Yep. Let's get okay together, Joe.
Hey, stay with me on this one. Really, hang in there with me for a moment. J.D. Vance, no matter what you think of him, and hello, everybody, this Thursday, August 6th, the year of our Lord, 2026. What the fuck? It's 2026. Dang. All right, focus, Walsh. Stay with me on this. J.D. Vance, no matter what you think of him, he's not a stupid guy. J.D. Vance, I know what I think of J.D. Vance, but he's not a dumb guy.
He's weak, though.
And so when you listen to what J.D. Vance, the vice president of these United States, said on Fox News today, there's like really only one conclusion to draw. And it's stunning. Like, this should be the top news story right now. What Vance said on Fox News yesterday.
All right.
Because when you listen to what Vance said, and I'm going to play it for you here in a moment, when you listen to what J.D. Vance said yesterday, word for word.
Yeah, man, me too.
He's talking about Donald Trump. So, and remember, Vance is not a stupid guy.
Shut up.
So the only
Get to the point.
conclusion you can draw, and this is stunning to say, is that J.D. Vance believes Donald Trump should be behind bars, should be in prison right now.
Oh, my God.
I do declare, I don't know how else you can interpret that.
So
This
dramatic.
is J.D. Vance on Fox News yesterday. Keith, play it.
I don't care where you came from. I don't care what your name is. If you are committing fraud against the American people, all of us in public leadership should be trying to stop it and try to throw you in prison for enriching yourself off the American taxpayer.
Hey, Keith, could I bother you one more time? Word for word, I want to hear J.D. Vance one more time.
I don't care where you came from. I don't care what your name is. If you are committing fraud against the American people, all of us in public leadership should be trying to stop it and try to throw you in prison for enriching yourself off the American taxpayer.
Yeah. I don't care who your name is. Did you hear what Vance said there? If you're committing fraud against the American taxpayer, if you're engaged in public corruption, i.e. using your office, and J.D. Vance went on there in that short clip to explain what he means, if you are personally enriching yourself off of the American taxpayer, you belong in prison, like now. J.D. Vance thinks Trump should be in prison. I've been involved in politics for a while. I'm not an idiot. I'm not the smartest guy on the planet.
Nope.
But when you listen to that, Do you understand? He's describing word for word what Trump is doing.
Yo, fire up the chat. We got some watchers here. Fire up the chat. Let me react to some your thoughts, guys.
Nobody else. Like Donald Trump right now is engaging in open fraud against the American taxpayer right now at a level we've never seen. It's not even close. There's not even a close second. Donald Trump is engaging in open, obscene, public corruption.
Yes.
At a level we've never seen. There's not even a close second. And when J.D. Vance talks about personally enriching themselves off of the American taxpayer, well, come on now. Who does that describe? Nobody, repeat, nobody in American history, maybe in human history, has personally enriched themselves off of the people, corruption, public corruption, enriching yourself, using your public office to personally enrich yourself. You look at the team photo of who's done that. Trump's the only guy in that team photo.
I know. So that's
what Vance says.
So that's something that it's like bad acting. It's false drama. They act, oh my God, how could this be happening? It's like, you made it happen, motherfucker. This is derivative of your culture of conservatism. This is what you get. Corporations, 1%ers, excessive military spending, anti-immigration laws. Like this is the norm, dude. Corruption. It's been happening for a while now.
Anybody who's doing this should be in jail now. Now, I don't know exactly Trump's and Vance's relationship. And Trump's an idiot. But if somebody plays that clip for Trump, yeah, I think even Trump, who's an idiot, would think to himself, what the fuck? That's me. I'm doing that. What the fuck, JD? You're talking about me, JD. I should be in prison? The vice president of the United States yesterday on Fox News called for the president of the United States to be put into prison immediately. I've been racking my brain, what little is left, for the past 24 hours trying to think of another explanation, another interpretation of what Vance said. I'm flummoxed. I don't have it. JD's not a dumb guy. And, you know, again, it was just a few years ago, J.D. Vance called Trump Hitler. J.D. Vance privately, secretly, has always believed Trump's a really bad guy. J.D. Vance is a craven politician, so he kind of put all that stuff away so that he could acquire power and become vice president. But we know deep down what Vance thinks of Trump. But man, to say that out loud, I was going to say pretty much, to say out loud yesterday on Fox News, of all places, Trump should be in jail. That's what Vance said. J.D. Vance looked into the camera yesterday and he said, if you are personally enriching yourself off of the American taxpayer, you need to be in jail. And I'm telling you, right, even the most hardcore MAGA dude and dudette listening to me right now, whatever you think of Trump, MAGA, securing the border, blah, 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 whatever he's doing, man, you all know, even Trump.
Yeah, we're going to move on from Joe Walsh in a minute. I'm going to give him one chance here. Random fast forward.
But understand what AOC said then. Now that you know what AIPAC is, when AOC said AIPAC should have nothing to do with the Democratic Party, what AOC is saying is that millions and millions and millions of American citizens should have nothing to do with the Democratic Party. She's saying millions and millions and millions of American Jews should have nothing to do with the Democratic Party.
No, come on. Okay, so this is the false dichotomy, guys.
Too. What a stupid.
God, this is like the hottest thing. This is Joe Walsh. He's a former Tea Party guy, former Republican, was in Congress for a minute. I have been in communication with him, like trying to maybe do a collab. He gets on Piers Morgan's show every now and then. He's not irrelevant. But he's not a huge deal either. So I just watch his stuff every now and then because I'm interested in regretful Republicans and seeing how far we can push them to the left, how open-minded they really are. Can they really break through that false dichotomy of socialism and capitalism? And the answer is usually no. But this right here, this is ridiculous, what he just said about AIPAC. AIPAC is not Judaism. AIPAC is Zionism, okay? And there's the difference.
To do with the Democratic Party. What AOC is saying, you know what AIPAC is? When AOC said AIPAC should have nothing to do with the Democratic Party, what AOC is saying is that millions and millions and millions of American citizens should have nothing to do with the Democratic Party. She's saying millions and millions and millions of American Jews should have nothing to do with the Democratic Party.
Well, there aren't that many Jews in America. There's only 2% of the population is Jewish, just so you know. But the point is stupid. AIPAC is a Zionist institution. It is not a Jewish institution. You can be pro-Jewish and anti-Zionist like I am. So I don't know where Walsh is coming from here. This is reeks of his inherited beliefs and I have no respect for it. So we're probably not going to watch too much longer of it, and then I want to get over to John Fetterman because that guy needs to get taken down.
That's a horrible thing to say. But politically, too, what a stupid thing to say. Now that we all know what AIPAC is, it's millions and millions and millions of American citizens who all believe the American-Israeli relationship should be as strong as possible. So AOC is saying those millions and millions and millions of American citizens should have nothing to do with the Democratic Party. My God, no matter what you think AIPAC, if you want Democrats to win, isn't that a really stupid thing?
No, because now that's an argument based on speculation. He's going into like, that's like the electability argument where you don't have any idea what would be electable or more electable, what's going to be more popular. You gotta grab your balls and make a fucking point and stand for something. Okay, you can't just keep playing guessing games about what's popular and can't keep playing to the center. If the center is deregulated capitalism, then you don't want that. So you got to fight it, and you got to get more people to move. See, we keep trying to have political figures meet people where they are. That's fine as a starting point, but I'm trying to meet you where you are, then pull you towards what I believe because I know what I'm talking about, because I've done the homework. It's not that I'm so fucking smart. It's just that I've done the reading and actually learned how the country works and why the system is fucked. This is John Fetterman, who I don't know how much time I'm going to spend on this guy because he's such a piece of shit. But, yeah, Joe Walsh does look like an Egon. He's a better looking Egon than Ghostbusters. This is John Fetterman, speaking of tough looking guys, the absolute ogre of the Democratic Party, complete traitor to the tradition of the Democratic Party, even in a neoliberal sense. Even in a neoliberal sense, he is just a Zion-Nazi piece of shit.
Agree with them 90%, but Israel is the red line.
Absolutely. Israel for me. Like I can't ever turn my back to Israel after where it's at.
So, and I mean no disrespect on this, but that is not our country. You're saying that these candidates may have great ideas for our economy. They may want to do the exact same thing you want to do in terms of getting money out of politics. They may want to increase the social safety net. They may want to change the balance of power from capital back to labor. But if they don't agree with you on Israel, you don't want them in your party.
Well, I don't know who you're referencing to specifically.
No, I'm referencing what you just said.
Name
so
one.
In other words, Syed or AOC or Bernie Sanders, I assume you agree with a lot of what they say economically.
And what I'm saying is, like, if you are a DSA member, if you are a member of a specific political party, run under your own banner.
Mamdani in New York is DSA, but there are things in the DSA platform that he disagrees with. And I'm assuming there's probably things in the Democratic platform that you might disagree with, but you don't disavow the entire thing. You're literally saying we can all have discussions, except when it comes to Israel, right, which is not America. It seems like a weird line to draw.
Well, so then, I don't think that's weird. I think what history demonstrates is that when people or a government or people turn their back to the Jewish community, things end really badly, and it's a dangerous.
Jewish community and Israel are not the same thing, brother man.
And so, Sagar, I think one of the problems here is
that's fucking Jon Stewart interviewing John Fetterman, and John Fetterman has got to go. Thank you, Pennsylvania. This is the best you can do? This fucking ogre who's like he was just completely betrayed the party. At least get someone who's going to do what they're fucking told. My God. Chat, fire it up. Anybody want to stop? Anybody want me to react to anything in particular? I'm kind of running out of steam. I react to as much as I want to, and then I kind of move on. Did the morning, bro. Yeah, Peter got a dragon. Thank you very much, dude. Very insightful commentary. Appreciate that. Well, congratulations to Abdullah Sayed. I said it on this space yesterday, and I just wanted to echo that. He's more of what we need. He is still, just so everyone knows, Abdullah Sayed is not a socialist. He is a capitalist that believes in free markets and regulated free markets. But that's okay, because we'll just push him towards socialism once he's in office and once we have power. But again, my main fear for the progressive left is that we don't know how to exercise power because we've never had power. I've had proximity to power my entire life, but and that's why I want to be involved in, the management of the progressive left and influencing the leadership, hopefully. But it's got to be more like killer instinct. We need more killers on the left to take on MAGA trash, because the fascism is here and the fascism fights back. And if you scroll to the beginning of this video, you'll see something where I just take on bipartisanship. Yeah, he's not gonna go to the Republicans. He's just gonna stay with the Democrats and hope to get reelected. But he should get primaried. I imagine he'll get primaried in the next cycle, which will hopefully. I think he's up for reelection in 2028. 2028 is going to be a huge wave. That's going to be a huge wave. At least I hope it is, unless we keep getting distracted. That's what I'm worried about right now, is the left getting distracted by the internal conflicts that are preventing us from helping us forget, preventing us from keeping in mind that we are at war with MAGA. Like, if you want America to get better, you gotta get out of MAGA and counterattack MAGA. This is war. When someone goes to war with you, you have no choice but to go to war with them. Thank you, South Carolina Cock. You're right when you say they need a strong primary social media platform with video messaging aplenty. DSA, that is. Yeah, thank you. I have tried to get the DSA to get more videos up on their YouTube channel so that when people search them, they can see long-form educational explanations for their policy and strategic positions. But, a DSA is, I do what I can. I'm just a lowly chapter member. I don't really, have that much sway within the national structure. Did you react to Bill Maher threatening to leave the Democrats? I did. I did it on this space. And he's weird about copyright stuff, so I'm not going to react to him. But, yeah, Bill Maher is a piece of shit. I hate him. If I ever went on his show, I would be hard-pressed not to punch him in the face and tell him to fuck off and die. Bill Maher used to be a progressive. His wealth, his success, his privilege has led to a different kind of ignorance that defines his worldview, and that is the blind spot of capitalism versus socialism. Here we are again. We have got to, this is political marketing. Remember, Star Wars is politics, Star Trek is policy, Jurassic Park and or Inception is political marketing. So we need to kill dinosaurs. I'm invoking the Jurassic Park thing right now. We need to kill the dinosaur of the Cold War false dichotomy of capitalism versus socialism. Yeah, war. It is war, Wolf Boy, however you pronounce your name. It's not because we started it. It's because MAGA started it 10 years ago. We're still waging it. What are MAGA whining about today? What bread being too woke? Yeah, they're in charge, so they can own the current state of the country. He's been in charge since January of 2025, coming up on 2 years. So, yeah, he can own it. Deter is right about the war framing. Democrats broadly act as though there are rules to this, and you can't win when the playing field is so asymmetrical. Yeah, thank you, Pinkerbell. As usual, always good to see you in the chat. Someone's paying attention and being aware of the details. It's really nice to see. It's war. Yeah, don't overcomplicate it, guys. Remember, you're not smarter than people because you're naturally smarter. You're smarter than people because you earned it. You went and did the reading. You did the homework. You listened to other perspectives. You learned, and you came to the conclusion that the progressive perspective is the best perspective because it transcends the cultural assumptions instilled in American politics by the Cold War, which was derivative of World War II. Okay? So you got to know your history here. And it's really the last 70 years, really, you want to know the last 100 years. But, ever since the end of 1945 to the present day is ideal. But if you're going to know anything, if you're going to go down any research rabbit hole between now and whatever, go down 1980 to the present day for the history of the GOP, the history of the presidency. Just do homework on what Reagan, George H.W., but really Clinton, W., and Obama did. to get us to 2016. And then 2016, the gloves came off. I mean, that's how I look at it. So anyone, any last minute firing up the chat to keep me on here? I got 15 watching, down to keep talking to you guys, but I don't really have anything else I want to react to. I could, but I just don't really feel like it. So I'll sign off. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please never forget that you don't get change in America by asking nicely. And if you could, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, that would be much appreciated. I could really use the subscribers. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day.